A couple of years ago, my brother and I had the wonderful experience of a dead battery on a late November day. That late November day was Black Friday. It was snowing like crazy, and we were at the mall doing holiday shopping. Literally, the worst time ever to have your car not start. And we tried jumper cables, but with cars all around us in the parking lot, there was nothing we could do because the jumper cables wouldn't reach. Or you do something like this. It gets to be later in the year, it gets to be wintertime. You go to work when it's dark out, you have your lights on, you get off of work, and it's still dark out. But you're in a hurry in the morning, you park your car, you realize you've left your lights on, you come out at the end of a long day, and you realize it doesn't start. So what do you do? Well, we think this Shell jump starter is a very good solution. For one, it's portable, and it's easy to charge, and it's easy to fit in your trunk. Let's spend a couple of minutes in this video unboxing this thing, looking at the different features, going over the owner's manual, and then finally getting underneath the hood. One of my favorite movies of all time is Tommy Boy. I love Chris Farley, and that's actually a car movie. That's a movie about auto parts, essentially. And remember the part near the end when he's like, the guarantee's on the box?
But it's not on the box. It should always be on the box.
Well, that's actually really good advice. Over the years, I've gotten in the habit, before I buy anything for my car, so whether it's a part, whether it's a radar detector, in this case a Shell jump starter, I've always got in the habit doing the Tommy Boy thing and looking at the box. Because the box will actually tell you a lot about what you're getting. So let's just take a couple of minutes here and just kind of go around the box. Obviously the front here is pretty easy, it's just a picture of the unit. Then on the side we've got the unit in action. Looks like we've got a flashlight, looks like we've got, looks like we can charge our phone here. So it looks like there's some smartphone connections here as well. That's a pretty neat feature. I've not seen a jump starter with that before, so I like that. So on the back of the box here, it says jump start a drained battery safely within seconds, and it says suitable for vehicles like motorcycles, cars, vans, pickup trucks, and more. You've got 4 different lighting modes here: flashlight, white floodlight, SOS, and red alert strobe light, so that's fantastic. Talks about some of the levels of protection here, so reverse charging, over circuit, reverse polarity. The warranty section here, something I always look for. Now it says see inside for warranty information, which makes sense. That's going to be in the owner's manual. But again, it's just like Tommy Boy. That little guarantee is on the box calling out to me, right?
Why would somebody put a guarantee on a box?
On the side here, we've got some more in-depth specifications. We've got some dimensions, which this thing is actually small, so it'll fit easily in like your tool bag. It'll fit easily like in an emergency kit in your trunk. And then up here, we've got the actual contents of what's inside. So of course, obviously we've got the jump starter, but then we have the jumper cable, we've got the micro USB cable, we've got a Type-C USB cable, and then a USB car charger as well. So that's all inside the box, along with the user guide. That's the instruction manual. And then here was one thing I was wondering. There is a carrying case inside, which is good because as much as I love reading the box, I don't want to keep the box, but I want to, and because you're spending your hard-earned money, you want to have a case, you want to keep it nice, you want to keep it protected, so it's good to know that there's a case that comes with this Shell jump starter. That's the outside of the box. Let's unbox this thing and finally see what we're working with. If by now you're wondering where to get this Shell jump starter, just see the link below. That will take you directly to where you can pick it up. Getting it out of the box here. There's that carrying case that I mentioned a moment ago, and then the Shell logo on here. I really like that. Let me give you a closer look here. That Shell logo right there. And then the black and the yellow case. So if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, this is your jump starter right here.
Touchdown for the Steelers!
Yeah, I really like that logo. Really like the feel of this case. Let's go ahead and get this open. So there's all the owner's manual here. I like reading the owner's manual. Here's the unit itself. Comes with a nice cover there just to protect it during shipping. There's a look at it right there. There's the side. That's where the main cord goes there. Here's the USB ports there. You may have noticed that I have my heavy jacket on. That's because it's freezing tonight here in Detroit. Summer is clearly over and we are in that cold fall season. It's been raining all day, as you can probably see on my car, so I definitely need to wash it. But isn't that the time to have a dead battery? That's usually when it happens. After it's been raining all day, you're trying to get out of work, when the weather changes, the seasons change. This is just the time to have this Shell jump starter. So let's do this. Let's go briefly through the owner's manual here, starting on the first page. On the first page of the owner's manual here gives us this nice chart here, if you will, of what everything is. So the LED flashlight on the front, that's this right here. Then we've got the LED battery indicator, that's this part right here. On-off switch, that's pretty self-explanatory. And then it says here, so let me turn this around like this. So it looks like we've got, so this is an output here, USB-A 1, an input and an output, type C, right there. And then looks like we're working with a USB-A over here, USB-A 2. And then it details the smart jumper cable here. So there's the connector, it says that's blue. I'm gonna get these out in just a second. Boost button, the negative battery, which is negative battery clamp, which is black, positive battery clamp, which is red. Second page talks about the cables a little more, and then the car charger here. So let me go ahead and get all of that out. I'll set the owner's manual aside. And there is I had it unzipped from before, but there is a zipper here as well. In the top part of the case, you have all of your cables here. So, and you remember the old saying, red to positive, black to negative.
Could you give me a jump?
Sure. Try giving it some gas.
So here's the main hookup here, just like that. So what'll happen is you take your unit here, right here, so you connect the jumper cable portion to that. Let me do that here real quick. So it's gonna go in just like so. And now you're ready to actually jump your vehicle now. I'm gonna set these aside for now because there's a couple of other treasures up here in this top part. A couple of cables and then this little adapter. So this is a combination of things, but this is to charge the jump starter while you're driving. You can charge this from your car. Cable here for that. In the owner's manual here, talks about how you can use the Shell jump starter. You can use it to charge a tablet. It looks like a digital camera, your smartphone, of course, and then even mobile gaming. So hey, if you're a mobile gamer, this is definitely your jump starter here. There's one other thing I wanted to point out here in the owner's manual because it's on this page with wireless charging. It talks about the boost mode. It gives a warning here. Let me grab the clamps real quick. I'm going to set this down. So the boost mode here, so you've got 3 lights, air, correct, and then this last one here says boost. So what is the boost mode and why is there a warning in the owner's manual? Let's take a look. It says use boost mode with extreme care. Clamps must be tightly connected to the correct polarities of the vehicle's battery before pressing the boost button. So that is red to positive, black to negative, like that old saying goes. It says this mode generates very high current. So in other words, your battery is really dead. But it gives this warning. Sparks will generate when the clamps touch or they are connected to each other. So just be careful of that when you're using the boost mode. You don't want the clamps to touch together, and that's just generally a good rule anyway. When you have jumper cables or a portable unit like this, you never want these two to touch each other. So let's talk about the flashlight. You can see it at the end of the unit here. It's on page 10 of the owner's manual. So that flashlight right on the end. Don't do what I'm doing. Don't look at it because you'll blind yourself. So you just hold the power button down and then it turns right on. Let's go through these here on the flashlight. This is the standard, just the You'll get this light initially. When you hold the button, you just hold the power button down and it will go to this light, just this standard flashlight. Now you push the power button again and then you have this flashing SOS light. That's helpful. Stranded during the winter time, that's a nice feature there. Press it again. Now you've got the same thing. You've got a standard flashlight, but instead of it being concentrated in the middle, it's at the end here. It's a nice feature. And then you have a red strobe light here. All of these lights are detailed on page 10. And back to the normal light. And then if you hold this, it's going to turn it off. So that's our Shell Jump Starter out of the box. Let's a look at the different cables that come with it and the flashlight as well. I think the flashlight is honestly one of my favorite features. Living in Michigan, wintertime being what it is, nice to have those red lights, those SOS lights. If you're wondering where to pick this up, see the link below. That'll take you right to where you can grab this Shell Jump Starter. Now let's get under the hood and hook this up to the battery. So here we are under the hood. And once you have the main portion connected here, what you're going to see, and let me turn this around for you. So you see that green blinking light right there? So that says correct, which is good. And it's blinking not because there's anything wrong, but it's just blinking because you're not hooked up to the terminals yet. So once you attach the Shell Jump Starter there, this is going to turn a solid color. Now, one thing I'm not crazy about, and this retails for $130 at the link below, but I'm not crazy about how short these are. You see, they're not very long, and you notice here in my Corolla, if I set the charger here, that's not super convenient. That's not going to reach. So that's one thing I'm not wild about. The carrying case isn't very big, so I don't know how much longer these cords could reasonably be, but it'd be nice to have them be just a little longer here. Now, if you're hooking up a jump starter or traditional jumper cables, there's one rule of thumb that you want to follow, and it's the order in which you attach and disconnect them. So when you go to hook up to your battery, you want to do the positive one first. You want to connect to the positive terminal first, then you want to connect the black one. You want to connect the negative one. And then when you disconnect, you want to just do it in the reverse order. So remove the black one and then remove the red one. Remove the negative one, then remove the positive one. One other good best practice, let me just set this aside here. I'll go ahead and turn on my flashlight because I do want to show you what that would be like under the hood. So that is nice. That's really nice. That makes up for the, especially if you have like one of these covers and you're gonna have to maybe remove something like this at night, be good to have this flashlight here. So that makes up for the cords being a little short. One other best practice here that I want to point out is make sure you take your keys out of the ignition before you use the Shell Jump Starter or before you use traditional jumper cables. One thing that tends to happen is that you go and you start your car and of course it doesn't start. So then you get out, grab your Shell Jump Starter and you leave your keys in the ignition. Don't do that. Just take your keys out of the ignition and put them in your pocket before you use the Shell Jump Starter. The last thing I wanted to try, and I still can't believe this, like what will they think of next? So when I was at the dealership, when I was in sales, cars would sit on the lot for a while and the batteries would run down, so we'd have to go out and jump start them. And we had the huge jump boxes, but they only did one thing, and that was jump the battery. Well, something like this, you got the flashlight, you know, and you've got this phone charger thing. This is, by the way, a picture of my better half here. So look at this. You're never going to believe this. That is charging my phone battery. And look at this. Look at fast charging even. I'm even doing the fast charging, 28 minutes until full. So I mean, what else can this do? I mean, realistically, you know, it does everything but make onion rings. So the Shell jump starter, again, I'm not wild about the length of the jumper cables, but the flashlight is cool. And then this thing, I don't know that you'd ever charge your cell phone with this, but you can. Pretty cool, huh?
Sure.
A quick recap. Cold, rainy night here in Detroit in the parking garage after work. This is when your battery goes dead, right? There's never a convenient time. So something like this Shell jump starter can help. Again, the flashlight I really like, especially the SOS light. Again, living in Michigan, wintertime, snow, there's always a risk of getting stranded on the road. So having something like these SOS flashlights, that's really nice. Your charging ports here, so whether you charge the actual unit itself while you're driving or you charge it at home with a standard plug-in, and then up here is where I was charging my smartphone a second ago. Now, the Shell jump starter retails for $130 on Amazon. See the link below. Let us know in the comments your experience with the Shell jump starter and if you like it or not. Live in Detroit for Automoblog, I'm Carl Anthony. The Shell jump starter, not bad. This has got to be the coolest phone charger I have ever owned. I mean, I know it's to jump your battery, but this is a pretty cool phone charger. I would be a hit at parties with this.